He said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he would defy the armies of the living God? Right there, God put the dream in David to defeat Goliath. He went and told King Saul. You would think that Saul would have been excited. He finally had someone to step up. But Saul said in 1 Samuel 17, David, don't be ridiculous. There's no way you can fight him and possibly win. You're just a boy. He's been a man of war since his youth. It was hard enough for David to get his courage up. Now the people that should have believed in him did just the opposite. Sometimes the reason people are not for you, the reason they don't encourage you, is because God didn't put the dream in them. He put the dream in you. They can't hear what you hear. They don't feel what you feel. They may love you. They think they're doing you a favor, trying to protect you. But when God has spoken something to you, there is an anointing, a favor, a blessing, an empowerment that will cause it to come to pass. David looked Goliath in the eyes and said, this day I will defeat you and feed your head to the birds of the air. What was he doing? Calling in victory, calling in faith. He reached down and picked up a smooth stone. When he slung it, I can imagine it hit Goliath between the eyes, knocked him unconscious. David went over, took Goliath's own sword, and finished him off. When you face challenges, it's so important what you're saying. David could have looked at Goliath and said King Saul was right. What was I thinking? I'll never defeat him. I'm sure those thoughts came to his mind, but he understood this principle, that what he spoke out, he was calling in. He knew if he spoke the negative, he was calling in defeat, limitations, weaknesses. That's why he stayed on the offensive. I will defeat you. When you face an illness, you need to declare, I will defeat this cancer. I will live and not die. You have to call in that healing. It doesn't say, let the weak think I'm strong. Joel, I believe I'm healed. That's important, but believing alone is not enough. Take the next step and declare, I am healed. I am whole. Perhaps you're in a situation like David, where the odds are all against you. It's easy to get discouraged, talk about how bad it is. No, more than ever, you need to start calling in victory, calling in breakthroughs, calling in suddenlies. Father, you said, when darkness overtakes the righteous, light will come bursting in. I know one touch of your favor can suddenly turn this around. So I call my business blessed. I call myself free from this addiction. I call my children serving God. I call in abundance. I call in healing. I call in breakthroughs. Don't complain about not having it. Start calling it in. Declare what God says about you. Well, Joel, what if I call it and it doesn't come? Then keep calling. When my mother was diagnosed with terminal cancer, do you know how many times I heard her say, I am healed, I am free from this cancer? Thousands of times. The first couple of years, when she said it, it seemed just the opposite. You would look at her and think, you're not healed. You don't look well. But when you keep calling in healing, keep calling in freedom, keep calling in abundance, what you're calling is on the way. It may not have happened yet, but there will be a time where you see what you've been saying. Now, almost 40 years later, my mom is still healthy and whole. But don't be discouraged by what's not changing. Let that challenge you to call it in even stronger. God is faithful to what he promised. When you're calling in what he has spoken over you, you can rest assured it is on the way.
Amen.
This is what I had to do.
Okay guys, this is the autumn. Look at the flowers. It's beautiful. What is God
I had never
created?
ministered before. Every thought told me how it wasn't going to work out, how I didn't have the training, how nobody was going to listen. I was tempted to verbalize